Catherine Albrecht, reminding you to keep your email safe, too, with StartMail.
Route 66 Broadband is locally owned and operated company with a local attitude. What that means to you is better service. With internet service and digital TV in Needles, Golden Valley, Mojave Valley, and Golden Shore. Call Needles at 760-326-4190 and Golden Valley at 928-565-4190. Be sure to check out the website at route66broadband.com. It's all about reliable high-speed service and much more.
From the KTOX AM 1340 and 92.9 FM Weather Center, I'm Charles Dixon. Clear sky and 84 degrees on Route 66 in Needles, and good afternoon to listeners in Oatman. Currently clear sky and 78 degrees for you. Getting down to 63 overnight tonight. Thursday's high will be in the mid-80s, sky is clear. Temperatures in the upper 80s on Friday. That's your KTOX Tri-State weather. Brought to you by Route 66 Broadband.
Keep local news independent. Support KTOX 1340.
The opinions voiced on the Rob Hanson radio program are those of the host and the callers, and not necessarily those of KTOX and Reuben Broadcasting.
Oh my goodness gracious me, mercy sakes alive. It is the Miss Rob Hanson radio program right here on the Tri-State's Undisputed Talk Leader. That'd be KTOX 1340 AM and 92.9 FM. Welcome. Let's get this thing started, shall we? I think we shall.
It's the Mr. Rob Hanson radio program on KTOX 1340 AM, now with FM on 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
And welcome. 855-586-9134 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. Tonight, we're not going to be sugarcoating anything. We're going to be talking about two fresh industrial disasters that should have every American asking, where did our common sense safety standards go? Yeah, I'm looking at these things. I'm going, holy cow. Second question is, who's really going to pay for these for this mess in the long run? Two instances in just the last week. One in Washington State that has turned deadly. And Chuck, if you're listening, we are really grateful you are okay. And one in Southern California that nearly turned into catastrophe for tens of thousands of families. Both involved chemical tanks failing. Both screamed the same morning, we can't keep playing Russian roulette with American industry, American workers, and American communities. Let's start off in Longview, Washington. That's a town that doesn't make the news very doggone often, but boy, when it does, it sure does. This morning around 7:15 a.m., a massive storage tank at the Nippon Dynawave packaging paper mill imploded. This wasn't some little leak. This tank held something that's called white liquor, a nasty corrosive mix of sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfide used in the pulping process. Reports say that it was partially full, in other words, tens of thousands of gallons when it ruptured. It has created a hazmat nightmare. At the time of writing this, at least 2 workers were confirmed dead, 9 more still missing, presumed gone. 10 others injured, including a firefighter, chemical burns, and inhalation injuries, and the works. They've shifted from rescue to recovery because the site is too unstable. Let's talk about the plant itself. The plant employs about 10,000 people. And that's a big deal for that community along the Columbia River. Now families are grieving. The river has dead fish from the spill, and taxpayers will be on the hook for the cleanup. Investigations and probably lawsuits that drag on for years and years to come. Let's drop south quite a ways over to Garden Grove in Southern California in Orange County. We almost had something even worse. A tank at GKN Aerospace holding about 7,000 gallons of methanol methacrylate, a flammable chemical used for plastics and aircraft parts, overheated and started venting vapors. Reports say the thing was bulging. Officials ordered evacuations for up to 50,000 people. A full state of emergency. FEMA got involved. For days, families were kicked out of their homes right around Memorial Day weekend. Whether it was Providence, God, or just good luck, a crack in the tank appeared to apparently relieve the pressure and averted a boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. In other words, it let the pressure off the time bomb. It could have been catastrophic. But thousands are still displaced. Air monitoring continues, and the long-term risks aren't zero. No deaths there, thank God. But imagine if those tanks had fully ruptured near all those homes and businesses. Orange County dodged a bullet. How many times we're going to roll the dice here? And here's the truth on this. America built the greatest industrial powerhouse the world has ever seen because we valued innovation, hard work, and yes, real safety. Not the bureaucratic kind of safety where Washington writes a 1,000-page rule book that small operators can't afford. Real safety comes from accountability, proper maintenance, experienced workers who aren't drowning in red tape. And companies know that if they cut corners, they pay dearly, not with just fines that get passed to customers, but real consequences. Look at the patterns. These aren't isolated. We've seen other chemical incidences these years, maintenance issues, aging infrastructure, pressure to produce while regulators tie everyone's hands. For foreign ownership at that Washington mill, and if it is Japanese owned, I'm all for fair trade, but I also believe that American facilities on American soil should meet American safety expectations first. No excuses. Safety first, always. Workers deserve to go home to their families at the end of the shift. That means regular inspections, not the check the box compliance. It means training that actually matters, not endless diversity seminars. That means companies investing in modern equipment instead of squeezing every last year out of old tanks because replacing them is an expensive and regulatory nightmare. In Longview, that tank failure didn't just kill people, it shut down operations. Jobs are at risk. Supply chains for packaging, everything from grocery bags to medical supplies, got disrupted. Prices will go up. The environmental cleanup, that's going to cost millions. Who pays? Almost guaranteed not the executives in Tokyo or the bureaucrats in Olympia or Washington, D.C. It's going to be you and me, the taxpayers. Through higher insurance premiums, lost wages, and government handouts. Same story in California. That plant makes aerospace parts for commercial and military aircraft. Evacuating 50,000 people disrupts lives, schools, businesses, hotels, restaurants, gas stations. They all take a hit. Even if they avoided a major spill, the legal bills, the lost productivity, and potential lawsuits are going to be enormous. Let's face it, it's California. And California's regulatory environment is one of the heaviest in the nation. If all those rules aren't preventing these incidents, well, maybe the rules aren't the solution. Maybe they're part of the problem, creating complexity that hides real risks, or allowing companies just to pay a fine. Or let's call it what it is, a bribe. These accidents destroy value. Stock prices for involved companies tank. Insurance rates skyrocket across the whole sector. Banks get nervous lending to industrial projects. Energy and manufacturing jobs, that's the kind that middle class become riskier to pursue. We're already struggling with bringing manufacturing back from overseas, but stories like this will make CEOs think twice about investing here. Meanwhile, the lawsuits will pile up. And the only winners here are going to be the trial lawyers. Then, of course, you've got the tree huggers out there or environmental groups that will use it to push even more restrictions that hurt legitimate operations. And the families? They'll wait years for compensation while the lawyers argue and get pennies on the dollar. That's not justice. That's a system feeding on tragedy. We need a balance. Strong safety standards enforced smartly. Focused on results and not paperwork. Faster permitting for upgrades and replacements so companies aren't stuck nursing failing equipment. Support for American energy so we're not so dependent upon unstable foreign sources that make chemical production costlier. And personal responsibility from corporate leadership. If you own or run a plant handling dangerous chemicals, your first job is protecting the people who make your profits possible. That's just common sense. To the families in Longview who lost loved ones today, our hearts are with you. This is a senseless tragedy that didn't need to happen. To the thousands displaced in Orange County, We pray you're back home safely soon. And to the first responders in both areas, God bless you. You run towards danger so the rest of us don't have to. But here's to the politicians and the regulators. Stop treating every accident as an excuse for more control. Start focusing on practical safety that works. America's workers deserve better. Our economy deserves better. You know, we'll keep watching these stories. But I want to know. I want to know the answer to these two questions. Actually, three. Was maintenance neglected? Were regulations actually making things safer or just more expensive? Were warnings ignored? You tell me. Take a quick phone call real quick, and then we'll go to a break. KTOX, you're on the air.
On the air. Yeah, I hope I'm not the one individual that's banned. I don't think I've ever called in before.
Okay.
I'm calling from Surprise, Arizona, FEMA Region 9.
So surprise.
Surprise. That's where I'm calling from. Yeah, and people ask me on the phone, how do you spell that? I said, just like the birthday party. It's pretty simple.
What's on your mind?
So I think it's funny to watch. I'm a local precinct committeeman, but it's funny to watch these political parties, quote unquote, have conflict with each other. When I believe, and I've thought since I watched Somaliopolis burn, and thank goodness yesterday was the 6-year anniversary of St. George Floyd no longer being able to reoffend. Mm-hmm. So pregnant women across the nation are very happy. They're safe now, finally.
That's okay. His fentanyl dealer, I'm sure, is mourning his loss.
Of course, and also the people that were helping him pass counterfeit bills in an Asian market. But it is what it is. Yeah. So, but I said since that day we were in a post-constitutional era, and I think the only way out of this muck that we're in, and I've tried to press on President Trump through some people that I believe are fairly close to him, it needs to be Article 2, Section 3. He needs to recess both houses of Congress to get all his appointees done. I think he's up to 15 or 18 of the 94 U.S. attorneys, so we can reclaim parts of the judicial branch, because right now we, the people, are suffering under a judicial branch and legislative branch coup, not against President Trump, against we, the people. Okay. Thank you.
So my question is this. Are you still there, or did you go away?
Sir? Yeah, I'm here.
What does this have to do with the tragedy in Longview, Washington, and Southern California over last week?
It's all inextricably linked, because I believe they set up these false flag events. Not that the events don't happen, but they happen to take your eye off the prize, which is we live in a full-fledged tyranny.
Okay, so
and unfortunately, it hasn't gone on for years or decades, but generations.
In order to be a false flag operation, that would mean someone would have to sabotage the equipment.
Yes, just like the food production plants that all burned to the ground in 2020.
Yeah.
Was there any?
I'm got real suspicions about that, but we're talking about these two instances in particular. So you believe they're false flag, that somebody either in the administration or one of the political parties created a conspiracy to blow up or destroy two chemical facilities.
I don't know that it'd be somebody in the administration, but could there be lack of maintenance, and that's purposeful because somebody's getting a kickback or somebody's getting bonuses? because their P&L looks favorable because they haven't done maintenance in 3 years?
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. So I think most things in this world are a grift. The Somali fraud in Minneapolis is a grift. The daycare center stuff in Southern California is a grift.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's getting paid. Their constituents are paying them 20 points, or a campaign ad manager is getting 20 points off the top of all political contributions. For instance, that's why Bernie Sanders has 3 mansions and 7 cars, because his wife places all his media buys.
All right.
It's all an intention against we the people to keep us as debt serfs with a worthless petrodollar.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. Do appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me contribute. Have a blessed day.
Bye. K2X, you're on the air.
Hi, Rob. This is Kenny in Yucca.
Hi, Kenny in Yucca. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I know what the definition of a surprise is. Do you?
Peekaboo?
Beg your pardon?
Peekaboo? I don't.
No, it's a fart with a lump in it.
Oh, good God. I will hang up on you now. No, I won't.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to comment on the implosion.
Uh-huh.
That's when something collapses in on itself, am I correct?
That is correct.
So a big tank full of chemicals collapsed in on itself is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
I didn't see any pictures.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Looks like a side blew out. And, the evacuating liquid just kind of crunched it like a soda can.
But it was not an explosion.
No, it wasn't an explosion.
Now, we had a Blevy, talking about the L.A. incident.
Mm-hmm.
We had a Blevy in Kingman. I believe it was in the 70s, mid-70s. There's a park in Kingman named after that Blevy. It was when a propane tank exploded, killing the firemen who were fighting the fire. Boiling liquid gas vapor explosion, Blevy. And so I'm understanding that what happened in L.A., that was prevented. Am I correct?
Not through anything other than the top of the tank cracked before the thing exploded. It vented the gas and stopped, just the entire tank from just going up like a bomb.
So they were able to relieve the pressure, slow motion, and prevent a Blevy. Am I correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Nobody died in that one. Thank God. But they didn't.
Well, thank you, Rob.
They didn't create the crack. The crack happened. Now dealt with high pressure tanks before, and that person said, "Look, there is absolutely if everything was done correctly, the inspections were done, the maintenance was upkept." And everything, there is absolutely no way that tank could have started boiling to explode. None. Because there are so many different safety valves that can be opened and closed, and liquid shifted off into different tankage. And not only that, on top of the tank itself is a relief valve. If the pressure gets too much too fast, guess what? That relief valve blows out, just like the pressure valve on a what is it? One of those damn pressure cookers.
Well,
These things weren't working.
Steam engines.
Exactly. These things weren't working. They couldn't. That relief valve on top of those tanks weren't working. How does that how do you get away with not inspecting those? How do you get away with not doing routine maintenance on valves?
Well, how would you go? You would have to exchange the valve. There's no way to actually work on the valve while it's installed. You would have to exchange the valve periodically to make sure you had a good valve in place.
Correct. It takes a specialized team. It's expensive, and it has to be inspected every so often to make sure the darn thing's working.
For lifting heavy things, they do what's called load testing. They test the devices that do the lifting by lifting a heavy load, and that they get load tested periodically. So you don't hear a lot about heavy weights dropping off of cranes and whatnot and forklifts because they get load tested often, the periodic load tests. But evidently there was no such periodic test for these valves to make sure that they work properly.
That is correct. That is correct. Now that tells me a couple of different things right off the bat. I mean, yeah, it's speculation on my part. How much money changed hands to just get these things check marked off their list?
There should be a check sheet and an inspection procedure periodically to make sure that the stuff is working correctly.
That's correct.
It's not possible to do that while it's installed on the tank, then there should be a procedure for replacing the valve periodically to make sure you have a good valve on there at all times.
You know, this is one of many tanks. Okay, one of many tanks that this product could have been shifted off to. All right, you could have been pumped off into could have been pumped off into 5 different tanks that were a little lower than that one was, taking the pressure off. None of those valves were working either. None of that system was working either. This, it came that close to a catastrophic explosion. How many tens of thousands of families would have lost their homes? We're talking about a fairly crowded area.
It seems to be where the lawsuits will be directed, is in the direction of the faulty valves
that are required to be inspected a lot. Every year, worked
or sooner.
My point is, somebody exchanged money for check marks. Somebody exchanged money for check marks, and it became easier to just either pay off the fine or bribe somebody to give a passing grade.
That's a non-ill-willed assumption that I agree with.
Well, there you go. All right. Thanks for the call. Do appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks for being there today, by the way.
Well, I was sick last week, man. I got whatever that spring/summer cold was, and man, I laid me out all the rest of the week. Just absolutely laid me out. But anyway, thanks for the call, Kenny.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 855-586-9134 is the number. We're going to take a quick little break. We'll come back. KTOX News.
Space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster of love.
This portion of the Rob Hanson radio program could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at info@ktox1340.com. That's info@ktox1340.com. Info@ktox1340.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi, because time is money, and we're always on time.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi. I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good with a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update!
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
I'm a third grade teacher.
I'm a school bus driver.
I am a parent.
I am a teacher's aide, and I agree to be identified
as a caring adult who pledges to help bullied students.
I will listen carefully to all students who seek my help
and act on their behalf
to put an immediate stop to bullying.
I will work with other caring adults to create a safe
learning environment for all the students in my school.
In my school.
In my school.
In my school.
I'm David Goldberg, Secretary-Treasurer of the California Teachers Association. Help us create safe, bully-free learning environments for all students in California. One caring adult can make all the difference. Take the pledge to be that adult at NEA.org/bullyfree. Adults have the power to stop bullying in our schools.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
Bully free. It starts with me.
A message from the California Teachers Association.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi, I'd like to report a bear hug.
Uh-huh, okay.
Well, we were building a bonfire, and I saw some, dry brush and leaves around, so, I said to move the bonfire somewhere else, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear shows up and hugs me.
So you noticed some wildfire hazards and moved your bonfire to a safer location.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Smokey, all right. He likes it when people help prevent wildfires. It hits him close to home. Not everybody gets the hug, my friend. So that's pretty special to get a hug from Smokey Bear.
So it was him. Hey, guys, I told you it was Smokey.
Okay, well, congratulations, my friend. And thanks for calling. There are many ways to prevent a wildfire. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
KTOX Needles, the very best in live local talk.
To talk with Rob on the air, call 855-586-9134.
And welcome back. 855-586-9134 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. Let's go back to the phones real quick. KTOX, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I want to apologize for earlier not staying on topic. I think this is another blow in the intentional destruction of our republic. If you look back at the city of the harbor in Baltimore, and then something that was near and dear to me because I spent some of my childhood in the Ohio River Valley, the East Palestine train derailment.
Uh-huh.
And I just think that these people are fully incentivized to ruin the country because they profit from it at the top. That was all. I wanted to apologize for the earlier phone call.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. I know how to steer things right back on topic. All right. Appreciate
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate
Have a
the call.
blessed day.
You too. 855-586-9134 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. So what do you think? Do you think that that these are intentional accidents, like the gentleman previously suggested, that that these are caused to create a downfall in America? Or are we just looking at long-term bureaucratic and industrial malfeasance? My opinion is on the malfeasance. My opinion is that these accidents, these incidences were caused because regulatory red tape made it easier to pay the fines rather than to stay in compliance and or just bribe the regulatory inspectors. Than to actually, chase down the, shut down the affected systems, replace faulty equipment, and make things safer for everybody. A few years ago, we had a coal-fired generator in Laughlin. Instead of spending the money to clean the plant up, they elected to shut it down and destroy it. And ended up causing a power deficit in California. Let's go back to the phones. KTOX, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Quality insurance inspectors are among the most prominent entities in any industry.
Uh-huh.
And they're the ones who are responsible for making sure that all the load testing, valve testing, and schedules for such things are up to par and are done properly.
Correct.
So what happened here to where we had all these non-functioning valves in L.A., there evidently there's quality insurance inspectors who were, as you said, malfeasance, accepting the money for being paid to oversee these things, however not overseeing them, failing to oversee them. or maybe not even being present at all. Maybe they were just people on paper and never actually showed up to work.
I'm not going to argue either of those scenarios at this point. I just can't.
But
I mean, let's take a look at some of our own food processing issues we've had over the last 6 to 8 years. We have seen a rise in salmonella. We've seen a rise in other food-borne pathogens. Why is that?
Now, every cannery has what is called mill rights. The mill rights are responsible for making sure the machinery is running properly.
Correct.
Now, there should also be a quality insurance inspector above them to make sure that the mill rights are doing their jobs properly.
And everything's clean. Yeah.
Right.
But
That's
how many food recalls have we had over the last 8 years?
And it generally involved processed food, as I recall. Canned foods, processed foods, some issues with fresh vegetables, but it's easy to understand how the contamination could happen with fresh vegetables or fresh food of any kind. But then again, that means the quality insurance inspectors were not there, were not on the job, or were not doing their job.
Well,
I think it's up to us to make sure that all these industries have proper quality control programs within them.
Yeah.
It's up to us to make sure that that happens.
Now, do you want to hear the disgusting number?
Sure.
There were roughly between 2,400 and 2,500 combined food recalls issued by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, and the Department of Agriculture over the last 8 years. That was, in 2025, there was 310 recall events. In 2024, there was 296. In 2023, there was 304. And between 2018 and 2022, approximately 300 to 320 recalls annually on average. That's disgusting.
Well, another interesting aspect to the levy notion is that these railroad tracks that go through here have a lot of traffic on them, and I haven't seen any including propane tanks on their trains. Or any kind of compressed gas for that matter.
I don't, you know what? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to it. But you may have a point. But anyway, the primary cause for the recalls over the last 8 years is, of course, undeclared allergens, biological contamination, and extraneous material. In other words, foreign objects found in food, like metal, stuff like that. But the vast majority of it has been biological contamination. In other words, listeria. That's a wonderful little bacteria. Salmonella and E. coli, another couple of really wonderful things to, come across. And that has to do with cleanliness.
So where are our quality control people? Where are the companies are responsible to us in proving to us that they have adequate quality control procedures in their companies to make sure that...
That's a good question that I can't answer, that I can't give you an answer to.
Well,
the regulatory agencies, the USDA and the FDA, they're responsible for overall oversight, but are their overseers actually doing the damn job, not just accepting a fat wad of cash under the table to look the other way?
That seems to be what's going on.
It seems to me as well. Anyway, thanks for the call. I've got to run to another break because I went long the first round because I took phone calls because I'm an idiot. But no, I'm not really an idiot.
Well, thank you again, Rob.
Not a problem, Kenny. 855-586-9134. We'll be right back after these messages. KTOX Needles. This portion of the Rob Hanson radio program could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at info@ktox1340.com. That's info@ktox1340.com. info@ktox1340.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi. Because time is money, and we're always on time. Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi. Because time is money, and we're always on time.
Developers and investors, located in beautiful Needles, California. This is your opportunity. Riverlux Resort, a city-approved 15-acre mixed-use development along the Colorado River, zoned PUD and C2, ready for retail, resort, and residential growth. Prime location between the river and the golf course, where lifestyle meets potential. Visit riverluxresort.com and discover the vision.
Has anybody told you about Coast to Coast AM tonight?
Coast to Coast is one of those programs that deals with strange mysteries. We'll look at Bigfoot. We'll look at UFOs. We'll look at real science. And we'll also look at conspiracies and what it all means to you, the listeners of Coast to Coast AM.
It's the best in overnight talk radio. Coast to Coast AM.
That's Coast to Coast every night at 10 p.m. right here on KTOX.
Hi, I'm Frederick Penny of Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. I bet you're tired of hearing lawyer commercials, so just relax and listen to music for a few seconds. When you or a family member has been injured, call 800-616-4LAW or see us at PennyandAssociates.com. See, that wasn't so bad.
Dandy Donuts and Deli offers the best donuts and pastries in the tri-state area, hands down, and they are baked fresh every day. Dandy features 9 flavors of boba tea and a variety of smoothies, including espresso, mocha, and Thai tea. Their deli menu makes for a perfect lunch when you're on the go. Dandy Donuts and Deli at 4630 Highway 95 in Fort Mojave. Order online for fast pickup or call 928-444-1100.
And tell them that you heard it on KTOX.
Route 66 Broadband has always provided the fastest and most reliable service in Mojave Valley, Golden Shores, Golden Valley, and Needles. Amazing speed and flexible data plans. Digital TV and phone service available too. In Needles, call 760-326-4190. In Mojave Valley, call 928-565-4190. Visit their website at route66broadband.com.
KTOX would love to do your advertising. If your organization or business needs a little help, KTOX can get your name out on the air. We have the best advertising rates in the area. Reach us by email at ktoxradio@yahoo.com or 928-296-2562. That's ktoxradio@yahoo.com or 928-296-2562. Swantees of Bullhead City has been a permanent source for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles since 1990. Swantees has the largest selection of new and used cars and trucks in the tri-state area. They have a knowledgeable parts department and an award-winning service department. Whether it's a Ram truck, a Jeep Wrangler, or a Dodge Charger, there's always great deals to be had at Swantees of Bullhead City at 2494 Highway 95. Stop in and see us.
KTOX, we bring you facts without fear or favor.
To talk with Rob on the air, call 855-586-9134.
And welcome back. 855-586-9134 is the number. You're joining the conversation. Got about 50 seconds left or so. So I'll take your phone calls after the top of the hour. But you know, all of this nonsense, all of these failures in industry, I think we can tack the majority up to just greed. We can tack it up to people who don't want to take the time or cannot take the time to do things right. Profits over safety. Profits over lives. We've seen this before. We're back to it again. It is the Miss Rob Hanson radio program right here on the Tri-State's Undisputed Talk. That'd be KTOX 1340 AM and 92.9 FM. Come back, we'll talk about some other things. I guess the DOJ is investigating a woman who accused President Trump of raping her, Carol. We might look into that. Again, we might not. KTOX News.
KTOX and K281CR Needles.
If you're just turning on your radios,
this is KTOX.
Bring you up to date on the news.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm John Scott. President Trump at a cabinet meeting Wednesday at the White House, taking questions from reporters questioning where the administration stands on negotiations with Iran.
They're negotiating on fumes.
But we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't.
The president says he was not satisfied with the current Iran deal. He also thanked the retiring DNI Tulsi Gabbard for her extraordinary service. The Minneapolis police chief brought in following the police killing of George Floyd has resigned.
Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara has resigned. O'Hara was hired in 2022 to oversee reforms following the police killing of George Floyd. Mayor Jacob Fry says O'Hara was facing disciplinary action for interfering with an investigation into his allegedly having intimate relationships with city employees. O'Hara is accused of deleting a contact card from his city-issued cell phone, and the mayor had told O'Hara that he would be fired. He chose to resign instead. The city has 17 open complaints against O'Hara, separate from the investigation that resulted in his disciplinary action. I'm Donna Warder.
And on Wall Street today, stocks inched to more records after oil prices dropped.
Stocks inched up to more records on Wall Street after crude oil prices fell back to where they were in the middle of April. The S&P 500 edged up by less than 0.1% Wednesday. The Dow rose 182 points. That's about 0.4%. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.1%. Bath & Body Works and Abercrombie & Fitch rallied after becoming the latest companies to deliver stronger profits than expected. Energy companies fell after crude oil prices dropped more than 4%. Halliburton lost 3.6%. Seth Sutel, New York.
More on these stories from townhall.com.
If watching TV has gotten way too complicated for you, then here's some good news. You can say goodbye to 1 million different subscriptions, wasting money and endless searching for something to watch. And say hello to Philo, a better way to TV. Philo's the only streaming service that keeps you in mind, making TV easy and affordable without sacrificing quality or the channels you love. With Philo, there's a package that's right for you. Whether you're looking for the best live TV on more than 70 channels, with a huge library of movies and shows, and an unlimited DVR, or you're looking to upgrade your experience with Philo's bundle, unlocking access to even more blockbuster films on top-rated shows on HBO Max Basic with ads, AMC Plus, and Discovery Plus. Whatever you choose, with Philo, you're getting great TV for an even better price. Find out more at philo.tv. That's PHILO.tv. Subscriptions auto-renew, cancel anytime. See philo.tv for more.
Swantees of Bullhead City has been a permanent source for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles since 1990. Swantees has the largest selection of new and used cars and trucks in the tri-state area. They have a knowledgeable parts department and an award-winning service department. Whether it's a Ram truck, a Jeep Wrangler, or a Dodge Charger, there's always great deals to be had at Swantees of Bullhead City at 2494 Highway 95. Stop in and see us.
If you're one of the millions of Americans with chronic back pain, there's one simple change to your routine that could give you relief, and it's free. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht, and I'll be right back with a tip for your back after this.
Your email is your business, but if it's spied on, hacked, or intercepted, it can fall into the wrong hands. The solution is encryption, a high-tech way to scramble your data so no one can read it. For years, only the technical elite could use this powerful tool until StartMail came along. StartMail not only lets you encrypt the email you send, it encrypts your entire account. Encryption. It's just one more way StartMail.com keeps you safe.
A team of researchers in Finland did a 6-month experiment and confirmed what we already know. Sitting less and moving more can reduce frequent back pain. In this study, they took middle-aged adults and divided them into 2 groups. The first group was instructed to reduce the time they spent sitting each day by 1 hour, while the other group was told to carry on as normal. At the end of 6 months, you can guess which side experienced significantly less back pain. So even if you're tempted to deal with pain through inactivity, get up and move. It could save your aching back. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht for StartMail.com, where we've got your back when it comes to privacy.
Route 66 Broadband is locally owned and operated company with a local attitude. What that means to you is better service. With internet service and digital TV in Needles, Golden Valley, Mojave Valley, and Golden Shore. Call Needles at 760-326-4190 and Golden Valley at 928-565-4190. Be sure to check out the website at Route66Broadband.com. It's all about reliable high-speed service and much more.
From the KTOX AM 1340 and 92.9 FM Weather Center, I'm Charles Dixon. Clear sky and 84 degrees on Route 66 in Needles, and good afternoon to listeners in Oatman. Currently clear sky and 78 degrees for you. Getting down to 63 overnight tonight. Thursday's high will be in the mid-80s, sky is clear. Temperatures in the mid-80s on Friday. That's your KTOX Tri-State weather. Brought to you by Route 66 Broadband.
KTOX, the Tri-State leader in local talk.
The opinions voiced on the Rob Hanson radio program are those of the host and the callers, and not necessarily those of KTOX and Ruben Broadcasting.
Oh, and welcome back to another riveting hour of the Miss Rob Hanson radio program. Oh, yeah. Let's get this thing started, shall we? I think we shall.
It's the Miss Rob Hanson radio program on KTOX 1340 AM, now with FM 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
And welcome back. 855-586-9134. So is the whatever we're calling it in Iran going to be settled, or is it going to continue on until oblivion? God, who knows? So this just in. New American strikes target Iranian military site that reportedly fired drones at U.S. cargo ship. After signing after the peace negotiations with the U.S. and Iran seemed to be hours away from signing of a successful peace agreement, disagreements ended up pushing it back into negotiations. Especially after a skirmish in the Strait of Hormuz a few days ago on the 20, whatever. Another exchange of fire involving U.S. and Iranian forces. 3 blasts were heard all over the Iranian port of Bandar Abbas on the Strait of Hormuz, according to Fars News. An air defense, as air defenses were activated for a few minutes. The U.S. has carried out new strikes overnight in Iran, targeting a military site that officials believe posed a threat to U.S. forces and commercial maritime traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. And this is according to a U.S. official that was speaking to Reuters on Wednesday. The official, of course, who spoke under the condition of anonymity, said the U.S. military has also intercepted and shot down multiple Iranian drones that pose a similar threat. Now, far be it for me to sit back here and be an armchair general or admiral or secretary of war, whatever the hell we're calling it nowadays. for either side. But you want to stop a war. Both sides want to stop a war. Both sides want the bloodshed to end. Isn't it kind of necessary for, I don't know, for people to stop shooting at each other? I honestly don't think the Iranian government, or what's left of the Iranian government, wants anything other than to tie the American Navy and the American Armed Forces up in the Middle East. I think they want to continue. That's why they're taking pot shots at American ships and other ships in the Strait of Hormuz, so they can keep the tensions on. At this point, I don't know what the president's thinking. I couldn't tell you. We were told going in it would be this war would be limited in nature, without boots on the ground in Iran. So far, that promise has been kept. But it seems the closer we get to a peace deal, the further away it is. In other words, we're taking one step forward and 20 steps back. I can't tell if it's a changing goalposts from the Iranian government or the changing goalposts from the Trump administration. I don't know. Now, before you call and say, well, you're not supporting President Trump in our war on Iran, I said, I'm not supporting any president on any war. And no, I'm not a peace at all costs kind of person. But I want to see an end to this. I want to see an end to the Iranian regimes that have every week called for death to America or death to Israel or death to the West. KTOX, you're on the air.
This is Kenny.
I could have guessed it. I should have just picked up the phone and said, now what, Kenny? What's up, man?
I was wondering if you might have any thoughts on the intel that our forces are receiving and acting on. Is there any intel at all? The Mossad provided enough for the initial attack.
Yeah, I have no earthly idea, none whatsoever. And it's not just Mossad's the Mossad intel. It's also our own intelligence agencies. Whether it be from intercepts from within Iran or actual human intelligence sources from inside Iran, I don't know. At this point, at this point of the game, it really doesn't matter. But go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think the satellite views should have a lot to do with it right now.
I would assume so, yes. But like with all of their intelligence, they share none of it with me. Even though, I've demanded it and requested it, they said we'll get around to you. Or just say no. Sort of like asking me what the hell they're doing up on Highway 95. I have no idea, man. They didn't share their construction plans with me. Again.
Yeah, those things never end.
Precisely.
But it's job security for those who do it in the work.
Well, it's actually good work if you can get it, but I'm a little too old and broken for that. So are you.
Yeah. Well, you can always practice being a Caltrans worker by standing there with a shovel in your hand and leaning on it.
I do that with my cane when I'm out there watching them. I just don't have a hard hat and a bright green and orange vest. I suppose if I could go buy those and just start billing for my supervision skills. Wonder if they'd pay.
Well, ADOT's been pretty busy around here in the Yucca area for the last couple months.
Oh yeah, well they've been busy along that entire stretch of I-40. Holy cow! Have you been through Kingman lately? Whew. That's a nightmare.
You have to get on 66 to get out of town after about noon.
Yeah, you sure do. You sure do. And, holy cow, that I-11 interchange, all right? That, by the way, if you're expecting this to be done anytime soon, don't hold your breath. This is a multi-year project. Oh, they've got to cut through how many mountains to connect that?
They're going through solid rock right now, where that flyover is going to meet its landing spot.
Yes. Yeah, I last time I was through there, I think it was like last week or something. I get to go there again this week, but or this next week. But what was that? The signs for blasting have been up, so they're making booms out there in them dar hills.
Well, there's so much traffic wanting to go north on 93.
Yeah, that, by the way, that's the I-11 corridor.
Right, and they're backed up, for a couple miles on the 40.
Yes, they are.
Just waiting to get on the 93.
Yeah, they sure are. And it becomes rather disgusting because I have to go that way to get home. Oh, good grief. I mean, I got to go up there. I got to get off on the Bullhead City exit, go through Golden Valley, climb that hill, pop down the other side, then I'm home. It used to be a 35 to 45-minute drive. Now I can almost guarantee you it's going to be an hour and a half both ways.
Well, I remember how much better it got when they finished Highway 68, the new road going over that hill from Bullhead.
Oh yeah, well, the 66. I've been up and over that a couple of times. It's a very pretty drive, by the way. But oh Lord, does my car hate it?
Yeah.
And it is curvy and it is steep and it is no fun whatsoever. That's it. By the way, that's the original old Route 66.
Right, through Oatman, right?
Through Oatman. That's correct.
Well, this new 68 that they constructed here in the last 30 years.
Yeah. up through Bullhead, north through Bullhead, and then over Railroad or whatever pass that is. I can't remember what it's called, the Railroad Pass or something pass, or Union Pass. Excuse me, Union Pass, and drops down into Golden Valley, and then it hooks up with now I-11. And then drops into Kingman.
That pass has been a testing ground for towing trailers for automobile magazines, testing pickup trucks for towing trailers over that pass.
Yeah,
and they time how quickly they can do it.
Yes, I know.
And
I see them. They run out of the Yuma Proving Grounds.
Yeah.
they think they're all slick with their urban camouflaged vehicles, and I look at them and go, oh, sigh.
Yeah.
So it's not like we can't tell what you're doing there, folks. You just as well, tear off the camouflage and fly your colors and say, look at us, aren't we great? What they don't want happen is a catastrophic failure where they're on the side of the road on fire or the wheels have fallen off or whatever, and we know what the manufacturer that we're not buying that year's models in. Yeah.
Probably not.
But heck, it's all fun and games until the wheels come off or the engine blows up anyway. Anyway, what else on your mind, Kenny?
Well, that's pretty much it, Rob. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. 855-586-9134. Oh man. Oh, let's play that song. I like this song. Let's fly like an eagle right out of here into a break. We'll be back. K2X News.
Slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future.
This portion of the Rob Hanson radio program could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at info@ktox1340.com. That's info@ktox1340.com. info@ktox1340.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi, because time is money, and we're always on time.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Oh,
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it gonna be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way! Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do. Tell the world I see with an emoji to stop the bullies.
Know someone who's being bullied online? Send the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more about the witness emoji at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
KTOX 1340 AM, standing up for truth, justice, and a decent cup of coffee.
To talk with Rob on the air, call 855-586-9134.
And welcome back. Little George Harrison to come into bottom of the hour. 855-586-9134 is the number. So what do you think? Do you are you one of those that are beginning to believe that this war in Iran is another one of these endless war kind of things? Where the peace deal, even though they keep saying, "Oh, we're so close, we're within inches, we're within hours of signing this," it's just being sabotaged by both sides. I don't know. It certainly is driving me insane. Now, the reason I kind of teased this at the last hour, but yeah, the DOJ is launching a criminal investigation into E. Jean Carroll because during one of her depositions, she had said that she wasn't getting help with any of her legal fees. And they're probing whether she perjured herself when she said under oath that no outside source was paying her legal fees. Well, it turns out that, yeah, somebody was paying her legal fees. Gino Carroll told that it was later revealed that billionaire Reid Hoffman was bankrolling Carroll's legal fees. So, yeah, she's in a little bit of hot water. Whether it goes anywhere or not is a complete other issue. But according to CNN, the Justice Department has launched a criminal investigation into E. Jean Carroll, a former magazine columnist who accused President Trump of sexual assault, according to multiple sources familiar with the matter. By the way, that's coming directly from CNN. The investigation is focused on whether Carroll committed perjury in testimony tied with her two civil lawsuits against the president, one alleging that he sexually abused Carroll in a New York department store in the mid-'90s, and a second one for defaming her when the 2019 when he repeatedly denied the assault. She said he wasn't his type, and she claimed and claimed she made it up to boost sales of a book. The prosecutor's theory hinges on a 2022 deposition statement by Carroll that she received no outside funding for her lawsuit, although it was later revealed that billionaire Reid Hoffman had paid her legal fees and expenses. So that continues on into the foreseeable future. By the way, she's 82 now. Oh, Lord. Why is it? I've had a hard time with that entire story altogether for several different reasons. And it kept coming to the forefront, kept getting shuffled from court to court to court to court to court until he finally found one that took it seriously and put it in front of a jury that frankly didn't care for Trump at all. And then hit him with a huge settlement. And came back with findings that were just frankly off the wall. That leads me to wonder about the entire thing from the get-go. Now, no denying Trump has an ego. He has an ego, this exact size of his fortune. But I look at him and I say, yeah, he will ridicule and abuse anybody verbally that gets in his way. But sexual assault, I don't think that's someplace he would take that. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. But when it comes down to it, I just don't believe the charges. Let's go to the phones. KTOX, you are on the air.
What is the difference between our system of justice and our system of politics? They seem to be one and the same.
You'd think, sure.
What should we expect from our justice system?
Two-tiered justice system. You go to jail while the rich and infamous go free.
Well, do you think that's what's happening?
Kenny, I'm not even going to entertain that because you know darn well what my opinion of that is.
Well, the thing is, the deal with Trump is as much political as it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Justice.
Absolutely. Take a look at every single criminal charge and lawsuit that happened from the time he announced he was going to run for president in this last election and winning it. I mean, I read a story a few days ago where a top White House legal eagle had told the Biden administration, "Hey, look, raiding Mar-a-Lago is probably illegal. Don't do it." They did it anyway. Why? Because they were out to get Trump. And then, of course, the nonsense in Georgia, where they tried to accuse President Trump of abusing his office and trying to get an election overturned. And then of course the myriad other charges that came out of the Mar-a-Lago raid of him selling secrets, for Christ's sake. And that all in the attempt to get him to stop running for president. And when he won the nomination, how many of those just vaporized into nothingness? How many of those vaporized into nothing? Of course, we had that real estate whatever in New York that's still being fought over. The 34 felonies that they had to change a law just to turn into a felony just to prosecute him. And you're sitting here teaching me how to suck eggs. Of course it's all political. Take a look at the thousands of people that they held in D.C. for years on end without prosecution because they walked into the Capitol building. Many of them invited. or just being there?
The January Sixers.
The J Sixers. Look at the impeachment that happened. That they tried to impeach a non-sitting president because they said he incited them to do so. When he did the exact opposite. Yet they continue to run with that, by the way. And tell me again it's not political. Oh, it's just justice. No, this is political. This is political. And then, of course, there are still court battles going on with I don't know what is it, the oath breakers or the oath keepers or something like that weren't even there. They weren't even there, and they're accused of something or another to do with it, and it's coming back to bite the Democrats right in the butt because their convictions are being overturned left and right.
It doesn't seem to affect them, though. They just keep at it.
Of course they do. Of course they do, because they think, well, one of these times it's going to stick. We're going to be right. Or we'll just, or they'll just stop caring and say, okay, fine, whatever. And it keeps blowing up in their face. You know, the Democratic Party X account on Twitter.
Who do the party leaders answer to?
Don't ask me stupid questions like that. I have no idea who they answer to. Do you?
Of course not. They invent things. They bring things up that aren't correct. Yet there's never any answering to be done about it.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Democratic Party in themselves. Okay. In Texas, they have this really awful person running. And Stephen Miller, he's some ding dong. I don't, is it Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security.
Yeah,
that's who he is. Was teasing the Democrats. Fired up and ready to go. It's time to take Texas, or time to take back Texas.
So they're doing all this stuff, and there's no accountability.
And this guy said, "Well, Democrats made history in Texas by nominating their first transgender Senate candidate." You know, tongue in cheek. He's not transgender. He's just an idiot. What was their response? Shut up, you ugly blank. Yeah, that's real effective. That's real effective. That's, you know, yeah, the guy who made the original comment, yeah, he's about as classless too.
Well, they're stoic about getting caught in lies, yet they just keep on doing it.
Yeah, they do.
There's no accountability, seemingly, about anything that they do.
Yeah. And that seems to go with both sides.
Well, George Soros keeps sending them money.
Yeah.
He gets the prosecutors he wants elected.
Well, it's kind of hard to go up against millions of dollars worth of fundraising against you. Although I'm still considering trying to make a no campaign, a no money campaign for Senate in 2028. I'm thinking about it. Let's see how far I can get. How many votes I can get? Maybe 2 or 3.
State Senate or federal?
Federal. I'm not. I think Kelly's up.
Well, you have to go down there and stand next to Gallegos and Kelly.
Why would I have to go stand next to him?
And ask them questions. How come you're not held accountable for all your lying?
Well, that there is that. But the thing is, I want to see how far I can get in a campaign like that, in the primaries, with absolutely no campaign money.
Well, you need a voice.
Oh, I have a voice. I have a voice. I mean, I know how to promote myself across the internet all over the place, and I know how to do it for pretty much free. It's just, how far will I get? How many votes would you vote for me in the primaries at least? Ding. Probably not.
Yeah.
But I guarantee to get at least 3 votes. Guaranteed to get at least 3 votes. My daughter, both my daughters, and myself. See, that's 3. But the other hard part would be then actually getting the petition signed, because that would have to go all over the state, and that would end up costing me actually a lot of personal money to get that done. And that's hard to do without an actual campaign. So I don't know. Maybe politics is just for the rich.
Well, it takes a voice.
Yeah, I definitely have one when it's not not Alan.
When that's in the days of speeches from the caboose of a train.
Well, I can always speak from the caboose of my car. I can do stump speeches. I could attach a stump to my trailer hitch, stand on my stump. Boy, that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? Those are my stump speeches, and just carry my own stump around with me. All right, Kenny, I gotta run.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. 855-586-9134. We'll be back after these messages. K2X Needles. This portion of the Rob Hanson radio program could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at info@ktox1340.com. That's info@ktox1340.com. info@ktox1340.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi. because time is money, and we're always on time.
Hi, Crystal again from High Desert Heat. Never before in history has it been more important to hang on to your Second Amendment rights. Times are changing fast. Make sure you and your family are protected. At High Desert Heat, we have all your Second Amendment needs. Weekly CCW classes as well as training or even a try before you buy. Custom Cerakoting, engraving, ladies private and group shooting classes. We are your hometown family-friendly one-stop shop. High Desert Heat, 4410 Highway 95, Fort Mojave, Arizona, 928-763-4328.
Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi, because time is money, and we're always on time.
Developers and investors, located in beautiful Needles, California. This is your opportunity. Riverlux Resort, a city-approved 15-acre mixed-use development along the Colorado River, zoned PUD, and C2, ready for retail, resort, and residential growth. Prime location between the river and the golf course, where lifestyle meets potential. Visit riverluxresort.com and discover the vision.
Has anybody told you about Coast to Coast AM tonight?
Coast to Coast is one of those programs that deals with strange mysteries. We'll look at Bigfoot. We'll look at UFOs. We'll look at real science. And we'll also look at conspiracies and what it all means to you, the listeners of Coast to Coast AM.
It's the best in overnight talk radio. Coast to Coast AM.
That's Coast to Coast every night at 10 p.m. right here on KTOX.
Here's Fred Penny with Penny & Associates.
When you or a family member have been injured in an accident, what should you look for in a personal injury lawyer? The first thing is an experienced personal injury law firm that is actually taking cases to trial. Hi, I'm Frederick Penny, managing partner and founder of Penny & Associate Injury Lawyers. For over 30 years, Penny & Associate Injury Lawyers has been successfully representing individuals and their families. At Penny & Associates, we're experienced trial lawyers, and we work with you to get the best results.
Go to pennyandassociates.com or call 800-616-4529.
Dandy Donuts and Deli offers the best donuts and pastries in the tri-state area, hands down, and they are baked fresh every day. Dandy features 9 flavors of boba tea and a variety of smoothies, including espresso, mocha, and Thai tea. Their deli menu makes for a perfect lunch when you're on the go. Dandy Donuts and Deli at 4630 Highway 95 in Fort Mojave. Order online for fast pickup or call 928-444-1100.
And tell them that you heard it on KTOX.
Route 66 Broadband has always provided the fastest and most reliable service in Mojave Valley, Golden Shores, Golden Valley, and Needles. Amazing speed and flexible data plans. Digital TV and phone service available too. In Needles, call 760-326-4190. In Mojave Valley, call 928-565-4190. Visit their website at route66broadband.com.
I've been telling folks for a long time we don't have salespeople here at KTOX. And that's not totally accurate. In fact, we do have salespeople. They're our satisfied clients. They tell their fellow business associates about advertising with us. That's why most of our advertisers are from referrals. We have no salespeople, at least in the traditional sense. Call KTOX and find out more about advertising on the Tri-States Talk Leader at 760-326-4500.
KTOX Needles, the very best in live local talk.
To talk with Rob on the air, call 855-586-9134.
And welcome back. Last few minutes of the Miss Rob Hanson radio program. I want to thank everybody for listening in. Thanks for the phone calls I got. Do appreciate that a lot. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. I am getting over the dregs of this cold, so I got a little bit of congestion still going on. But it's Lord, it was a rough battle with it. Saturday and Sunday, I was laid low, man. I'll tell you what, it was just no fun whatsoever. And finally, Monday, I started feeling a little bit better. And, I was actually able to get up and do a few things rather than just, sleep. And it's been a little bit of recovery. So I'm glad to be back. Anyway, 855-586-9134. Yeah, this weekend I get to do some things. I'm looking forward to Sunday when I get up in the wee small hours of the morning, like midnight Sunday morning, and start cooking. Or start smoking a couple of pork butts. That'd be the shoulders for some pulled pork. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be about a 12 to 13 hour cook. So lunch. It'll be there for lunch. Looking forward to that. Got a recipe I want to try. So nothing too extravagant. The only seasonings I'm going to be using on this is salt, pepper, and garlic powder. So some good old SPG. We'll see how that turns out. I think it's going to turn out great, honestly. I think it's honestly going to turn out great. Also, give me a lot of time to study for my upcoming ham radio license, the final one, where afterwards all I got to do is continue to pay money every 10 years and I'll keep my licenses. But this final test is quite the endeavor. Quite the endeavor. It's for the amateur extra, and it'll allow me to use all the amateur bands without having to be careful of which part of the band I'm broadcast or transmitting in. That's a me thing. You, however, can go to hamradioprep.com and for $35 you can get the current version of Ham Radio Prep for the technician's license. And believe me when I say that is a super simple test. You'll pass it. You'll be able to take it and pass it. And you can join me on the air. You can even join our super ham radio club that we have here, a Route 66 Amateur Radio Club. You could join it now. I'd let you join, but in order to be able to actually use the revs, you got to be a radio licensed ham radio operator. Easy peasy. Anyway, go out there and make the world a better place. We'll see you tomorrow. KTOX Needles.
Hour from Town Hall, I'm John Scott. U.S. forces have carried out new defensive strikes on an Iran military facility. That's after downing Iranian-attacked drones. The U.S. Central Command forces reportedly shot down 4 Iranian